Welcome everyone. In the next module on complex integration. In the previous module we have studied the probability distribution. In this lecture we are going to study the complex integration. In the previous semester we have come across with the module functions of a complex variable, where we have discussed the differentiation of a complex variable function, then the concept of the analytic function. Now we are in a process of antiderivative, that is integration one. Now of course there are two types of integration, indefinite and definite. The indefinite integral will give you the value whose derivative is the given function, whereas the definite integral, in case of the definite integral, for functions of complex variable, we may depend upon the path of integration in the complex plane. Since we are working on a plane, hence we are going to deal with the along which path the integration is expected. Okay, so what is path? In case of a real variable, the path of integration of a to b f of x dx is always along the real axis from x is equal to a to x is equal to b. Okay, but in case of complex variable, the path of definite integration from a to b f of z dz may be any curve joining the 2 points a and b. So it may be a straight line, it may be some parabolic curve, or it may be some arc of a circle, whatever it is. Generally, the value of this integration depends upon the path. Now we are going to discuss what is meant by a line integration. Okay, see, let f of z be a continuous function. F of z be a continuous function of the complex variable z is equal to x plus iy. It is defined at every point, and it is defined at every point of a curve C. It is defined at every point of curve C. The endpoints of the curve C are A and B. Now what we do, whatever the arc we have for the curve C between the points A and B, suppose this is our arc, these are the point A and B, and this is our curve C. Now what we are going to do, we are going to divide this curve into n parts like that, and so on up to this. N partitions we are going to select. Okay, so partition, I call this partition as P1, then P2, then P3, and so on, whatever it is. Now from each partition, each partition will be specified as A is equal to P naught Z naught to P1 Z1. P1, P2, P3 stands for the partition 1, partition 2, and so on, where initials are Z0, then Z1, then P2 of Z2, and so on, like them, Pn, Zn. So that will be your point B. So you can say this is Z0, then Z1, then Z2, then Z3, and so on up to Zn, whatever it is. Now let delta Zi will be Zi minus 1. Then eta I be a point from partition Pi. From the partition, okay, what we do, from any of these partitions. For example, this is my first partition, so I am going to select a point eta 1. Then from there the point will be eta 2. So ni with the point from the partition, from each partition. So I varies from 1 to n. Then we are going to discuss one summation. The summation is f of eta I into the length of this partition, that is delta Zi, where I runs from 1 to n. Consider this summation. Now what I am going to do, right now I have done some n number of partitions, that is finite number of partitions. Now I am going to increase the partition, that means as n tends to infinity, what will happen? Delta zi will approaches to 0. Okay, and if the limit of this sum, as n tends to infinity exists, then it is called line integral of function f of z along C, and it is denoted by integral over C f of z dz. Now here curve is from the point A to B, but if we have a closed curve, then what? Suppose like a circle, our curve is a closed curve, that is in circle, then what to do? If C is a closed curve, then P0 and Pn, that means your initial and the ending point, are coincide the integral, they are coinciding. Hence, the integral is called as a contour integral. In that case, for a closed curve, the integral is called as a contour integral, and it is denoted by integral over C. One circle is mentioned on the integral sign, it's just for a closed curve symbol, f of z dz. Okay, now we are going to discuss the problems based on the line integral first. So let us come to the one simple example. Evaluate the integral the integral 0 to 1 plus I x minus y plus I into x square dx along the curve C. The first curve I am going to take is a line from z is equal to 0 to z is equal to 1 plus I. So I am taking one straight line from the point z is equal to 0 to 1 plus I. Okay. Then second curve which I am taking along the real axis from z is equal to 0 to z is equal to 1, then along the line parallel to imaginary axis. From z is equal to 1 to 1 plus I. Okay, so I am going to discuss here two cases because I am discussing the two different curves. So in the first, then what is the first step? I call the integral as integration from 0 to 1 plus I x minus y plus I x square into, sorry, this is not a dx, this has to be dz into dz. Dz is what? If z is equal to x plus iy, then dz will be dx plus I dy. Now what is our first step? First step is separate out this into real and imaginary parts. So hence this is integration from 0 to 1 plus I x minus y plus I x square into dz, that is dx plus I dy. Is it okay? Dx plus I dy. Now, so this is equal to integration from 0 to 1 plus I. We take a multiplication x minus y into dx plus I times x minus y into dy plus I times x square dx. I into I becomes I square, that is minus 1, so minus x square dx. So this is how we separated it into a real and imaginary parts. Now further what I am getting, integration from 0 to 1 plus I x minus y dx minus x square dx, that is in the first term, So not dx, here it is to be a dy plus I into bracket x minus y dy plus x square into dx. So this is what we have done in case of the separation of real and imaginary part. Now in the first part, our curve is a curve C along the line from z is equal to 0 to 1 plus I. So first part, along the line z is equal to 0 to 1 plus I. Now what is it exactly? Z is equal to 0 to 1 plus I. It is basically a straight line. See the diagram. 0 means it is an origin. Now the 1 plus I means what? The real part is 1, imaginary part is 1. That is 1 comma 1. So it is a straight line joining these 2 points. Now if you just have a look on the line, all the points which are coming on this line are having the x and y coordinate, both are same. So therefore equation of curve is C. Okay, I call this as number 1. Is y equals to x. Therefore put y equals to x, okay, instead of 1 I call it as star, in equation star. Therefore dy is equal to dx. As we make a substitution, as y equals to x and dy is equal to dx, what will happen? This entire star will comes only in terms of x. Okay, so now you observe what is the change in x coordinate. At this point the x is 0, at this point x becomes 1. So change in x coordinate is from 0 to 1. Therefore what will happen now? Integral I is equal to integration from 0 to 1. Okay, I write the integral first, x minus y dx minus x square dy plus I times x minus y dy plus x square dx. This is actual our y. Now here I am going to substitute x is equal to y is equal to x. So hence we get x minus y is replaced by x. So x minus x is going to be a 0. Minus x square as it is, dy is replaced by dx plus I into bracket. Again same, x minus x into dy is replaced by dx. So x plus x square dx. So x minus x and x minus x are going to cancel. And as everything in terms of x, hence we are taking the limit as x tends to 0 to 1. So hence x is equal to 0 to 1, x minus x is 0, here x minus x is 0. Only this and this term will survive, that is minus x square dx plus I into x square dy. Now get the integral. So the integration of x square is x cube upon 3 plus I times x cube upon 3. Limits from 0 to 1. So for the upper limit we have minus 1 by 3 plus I 1 upon 3. So if we replace x by 0, then the both terms are going to be a 0. So in case of the line y equals to x, what is our answer? Our answer is minus 1 by 3 plus I times 1 by 3. Now we are going to deal with the second curve. Okay, so for second curve, what they have said, that's very important. They said that first you take a integration along the real axis from z is equal to 0 to z is equal to 1. Suppose z is equal to 1 is here, that means 1 comma 0. So initially we are at z is equal to 0. So first we are taking this path, this one, okay, 0 to 1. Then we are going in the vertical direction, that is a line parallel to the imaginary axis. This is our line parallel to imaginary axis from z is equal to 1 to the point z is equal to 1 plus I. So you can see your path is passing through the two different lines. One is a real axis and another one is a this straight line. Hence what happens? The integral over C, I is equal to integral over C x minus y dx plus I times x square dy. Just a minute, I'll check it once again. Sorry, not I times, it's minus x square dy. Minus x square dy plus I times x minus y dy plus x square dx. Okay, so this curve C will be divided into two parts. Hence my integral I would be integral over C, which is nothing but integral over C1 plus integral over C2. Okay, so first we are going to derive, okay, this is second part. In second part, for along C1, first we are going to derive along C1. This is your equation star. Okay, now along the C1, so this is my curve C1, this is my curve C2. So along C1 means the equation of C1 is, now this is a horizontal axis, so its equation is y is equal to 0. Therefore, put y equals to 0 and dy is equal to also 0 in equation star. Now as y is 0 and x dy is also 0, then what will happen? Your star will be in terms of x. So you can see what is the change in x coordinate. X is 0 to 1. So x changes from 0 to 1. Therefore integral over C1 is equal to integral x is equal to 0 to 1. Wherever you have y, you substitute 0, and wherever you have a dy, you substitute 0 itself. So you can see dy is 0, so this term is going to be a 0. Here also dy is 0, so this is also going to be a 0. Only x minus 0 dx plus I times x square dx will survive. X minus 0 is x. Now what is the integration? The integration of x is x square upon 2 and the integration of x square is x cube upon 3. Limits from 0 to 1. Again for the upper limit the term will survive, that is 1 by 2 plus I times 1 by 3. Now this is along C1. Now we are going to derive along C2. So C2 is a straight line which is parallel to the y-axis. What is its equation? See, on C2, what is the coordinates here? 1, 0. And here the point is 1, 1 because it is 1 plus I. So you can see the x coordinate remains constant. Hence the equation of line is x is equal to 1. Therefore dx is equal to 0. Put this in star. Therefore integral I is equal to integral over C2 is equal to x minus y, the x is 1, so 1 minus y into dx, that is 0, minus x square, that is 1 square into dy, plus I into bracket x, that is 1 minus y into dy, plus x square into dx, dx is 0. Now see everything in terms of y, so y changes from 0 to 1 in this case. See here y is 0 and at this point y is 1. That's why y is from 0 to 1. So therefore this is equals to integration from 0 to 1. This is going to be a 0 minus x square is replaced by 1 square, that is 1. So minus dy plus I times 1 minus y dy. So what is the integration of minus dy? It is minus y, limit from 0 to 1, plus I into bracket 1 minus y square upon 2, limits from 0 to 1. So hence for upper limit we get minus 1, and for the, okay, just a minute, instead of writing the limits here, what we do, we write the integration limits from 0 to 1. Okay, now minus 1 plus I times 1 minus 1 by 2, minus lower limit is 0, so the first term is going to be a 0, plus I times 1 minus, again this is going to be a 0. So this is equals to 2 into 1, 2 into 1 2, 2 minus 1, 1. So minus 1 plus I into 1 by 2. Now this minus and this becomes minus I. So 1 by 2 minus I, which is nothing but I minus 1 plus I into bracket 1 by 2 minus 1. So hence this is minus 1 minus I into 1 by 2. So this is the value for second integral. but we want to calculate integral over c. Therefore integral over c is equal to integral over c1 plus integral over c2. So c1 value is 1 by 2 plus I into 1 by 3 plus minus 1 minus I into 1 by 2. This is 1 by 2 minus 1 plus I into bracket 1 by 3 minus 1 by 2. So this is minus 1 by 2. Cross multiplication, we get a 3 here, we get a 2 here, 2 minus 3. It is minus 1 by 6. Okay, so you may have observed for different curves we are getting the different integral values. When this is the line, that is a straight line joining the 2 points, then the integral value is minus 1 by 3 plus I into 1 by 3. Now for the second, the value is different. Okay, so if we consider the different path for the different functions, different path for a function, then we get a different integral values. Then question comes, is there any chance for a different path may I get a same limiting value in case of a particular function? Yes, it happens. In the next lecture, we are going to discuss the same scenario. Thank you.